Hi friends, Andrea here. I just wanted to walk you guys through making a bracelet set out of an old necklace. This is an old, I think this is a shell necklace that I've had for a super long time. I think I got it in Hawaii. And I have this single bracelet that I made to have use up this bead from my stash and some of these other beads from my stash. I think these are shell Hishi beads, and these little glass check beads that have a frosted look to them. I made this before, and I realized like I tend to just not wear bracelets if I only have one. I need to, I don't know what it is, but I need to have like three, a stack on my wrist. So I had this in my jewelry box. I cleaned out my jewelry recently because I ended up getting a jewelry armoire, and I had all my jewelry spread out on like four different, actually I think it was five different jewelry storage things. I don't know what you call it. Different jewelry storage options, and I pulled this out of my jewelry box. And part of the reason why I never really wore this was because it was in a box, and I tend to not wear what I can't see. Anyway, I don't really think that I'll wear this necklace as is. It's just not quite my style, but I do think I would wear a bracelet with some of these beads incorporated, and I could wear a necklace with beads incorporated, but not that being the only thing on the necklace. I think I'm just not a surf girl, and it doesn't really fit with my style. But I think it would look really cool with some coral and maybe some other types of ocean themed or shell type of beads. So I'm going to cut it, and I just wanted to show you guys, what it would look like if you were going to like repurpose or upcycle things from your existing jewelry collection and incorporate new pieces. And I'm just going to move this bracelet aside so I can kind of keep it as a reference for what I want to create this set. And I don't know what I'll end up creating, but it'll just be something that coordinates with my existing bracelet. I do have some stretch cord, so I plan to make this another stretch bracelet like the first one here. It's got, plenty of give to fit on my wrist. I purchased these beads in a recent haul video, and they kind of look like Nautilus beads to me, and they have pretty big hole in them, but I think they'd look cool. I might also make a pair of matching earrings. We'll see if I end up doing that. I pulled out all the beads that have a similar frosted look, but I do have some more beads over to the side here that are in the same kind of color family. They're not frosted. They're the shiny kind. If I feel like it's missing something, I might like dip into those beads, but I figured I'd just do this on camera, and if it ends up getting too rambly, I can always speed it up, or you guys can watch it sped up. Other things I have with me handy is this pair of scissors and my GS Hypo cement, and I'll be using this to secure the knot on my stretch bracelet. So I know I want to incorporate one of these beads, and this is the first time I'm using this Smith bead board. So I am looking at how this bead lays, and it looks like this bead lays sideways. So hopefully it'll lay nicely against my wrist. I don't know if I want to incorporate multiple of them. That could be cool. So we'll see. I'll try. Maybe, I don't know if I want to do it like every couple of inches, maybe. We'll see. I know I want to incorporate some of these, just not sure. I tend to do things in threes. I don't know why that is, but let's start with that. And then since this bracelet has the blues already incorporated, I could incorporate more of the blue. I do really like this green because it reminds me of like sea glass from green bottles when you pull it out of the ocean, and it's from like beer bottles or whatever. So I think I'm going to incorporate that. And I do have the the daisy spacers floating around here somewhere. And I want to incorporate some of those, maybe because they're in this other piece here. So I will open them up and put some down on my beadboard. Sorry if you can hear a lot of noise in the background. I'm pretty sure my boyfriend is watching Moonshiners, and I guess he's just got the volume up loud. So I'll see what I want to do with this, but I think keeping this same kind of pattern where it's like every 3 might be cool. And I don't want to go too like wild with it, but I do want to kind of keep it like a pattern, keep a pattern going here with this. I do like the green. It's like a little bit different than what I would have expected to coordinate with this, but it looks nice. I think it'll look nice with this too. It'll just be a nice contrast. All right, I think I'm going to start with this and string it. Even though I'm not sure if it'll turn out right, I'm going to string it and then I'll come back and show you guys. Okay, I changed my mind and I decided to do an alternating pattern and take out some of these Nautilus beads. So I'm just going to go ahead and string these beads on to the stretch cord, and we'll see if I need to make it longer, but I think it will be just right. We'll see. I could probably speed this up, but I had to show you how it goes in real time. Because sometimes it's like fast, it goes really smoothly, and other times I'm like struggling the whole time. Look, I already made a mistake. I was planning to put a spacer bead in here between these, and I already made a mistake. That's okay. Fix it. I catch mistakes I make and stuff all the time. Afterwards, I'm like, oh, I should have paid attention to that. A lot of times I'm working on things like late at night after work, and I'm tired, and I haven't had any coffee or anything in hours, and it's a post-dinner lazy feeling. I'm kind of like brain dead from the day's work, so I miss a lot of things, but that's okay. It's all stuff that I can either fix, or like, what's the worst case that can happen? I have to go back and redo a piece and start over again. I haven't ruined anything, usually, at least. Sometimes with metal, like when I'm wire wrapping, yeah, I waste a piece of wire, but that's kind of how you learn and you get better at planning things out and practicing. So I feel like every failure to get something right is an opportunity to learn about planning and being organized, and just how to, sometimes it forces you to be creative and fix a mistake, or it forces you to just sort of accept the piece as it is, and you're just kind of like, I don't want to bother with fixing this anymore, and I'm just gonna leave it as is, and it ends up growing on you because you were, so frustrated with it that you're like, I'm never gonna fix this, so I'm gonna like it no matter what, and it becomes one of your favorite things. So I've already noticed something that I do want to change before I start, before I complete this, is that I probably should put this bead at the end so I can use it to hide my knot, because it has the biggest hole compared to everything else that I'm stringing. But I do really like the way that this is turning out with the pattern. So, looking at it right now. Sorry if you can hear my boyfriend. He's laughing at some TV show he's watching. This is already about 6, this is going to be 3 inches, and my wrist is about 6 1/4. So if I do repeat the same pattern, it'll be 6 inches, a little bit more than 6 inches. It'll be like 6 1/4 plus this extra little 1/2 inch, or 1/4 inch from the Nautilus bead. That'll give me enough kind of wiggle room around my wrist to stretch it out and have it like hang comfortably, not be like super tight on my wrist. So I think that'll be a good fit. So what I'm going to do, I am going to take this off and I'm going to put it I'm going to go back around and put it on the end when I'm done with this piece. So you'll see in a moment, but I'm just going to go ahead and continue my same pattern, doing the alternating shell and what I'm calling sea glass green, the frosted green. I don't know what color you would call that. I guess I would call that like a Kelly green, maybe. I don't know. It's like a shamrock green. Anyway, I'm going to put these on, and then after I'm done stringing these, I will put the last bead on, the focal bead, I guess you could call it, and then I'm going to stretch it out. And I follow this girl named Brittany on Facebook. She has a channel called Turquoise Street. I really like her channel. Since I don't buy a lot of beads and I'm just trying to use up what's in my stash, I tend to watch her videos for the hauls. Somehow watching her haul videos scratches the itch of me wanting to buy things, and it works out really well. But she admits in her videos that she's more of a bead hoarder than a beader or a jewelry maker, although she does make wonderful jewelry and she's very creative, and she gives me a lot of inspiration. I'm in the opposite mode. Like, I'm trying to use up what I have, because my end goal is once I used up what I have, I'll buy more stuff, and I want to be able to buy more things, new things to me. And I'm happy to make things. That's part of the process for me, is making things and learning as I go, and then also being able to share what I've made with other people. If I have a piece that somebody likes, I can just say, hey, I'll make you one if I have the beads. And that feels good to be able to just say, like, yeah, I'll make you one. I'll make you a matching one, or I'll just give you the one I have, because I can just make something else for myself. So it's nice to be able to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this around my wrist. And I'm not knotting it. I'm just kind of holding it with my fingers and stretching it to put it on my wrist. And it feels plenty loose, but not overly loose. I think what I'm going to do is take this section of beads off. This might just be a little too much, and I'll maybe just go with the green. I think that'll look really pretty. So I think it might be just the right length without those white beads at the end. That's the perfect length for my wrist. So if I had gone ahead and kept the white, it would have ended up being, not quite the right length to wear with this other bracelet. I may not end up wearing these together. We'll just see. But I am going to go ahead and knot this. Before I knot it, I always do, I learned this from Brittany. This makes so much sense now that I know it, because I didn't do it before. But when you're using stretch cord, you're supposed to stretch the cord before you knot it, so that if you wear the bracelet over time, it doesn't just stretch out because it hasn't been pre-stretched. I don't know if that's true, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyways. I've been making jewelry for probably 20 or more years. I've been making it since I was a kid, and I used to make tons of stretch bracelets, and I found a bunch of stretch bracelets at my mom's house a while ago that she gave to me so that I could recycle the beads, and they were disintegrating. The stretch material was disintegrating, and I know I made those bracelets probably in like 2000 or 1999, something like that, so they're 20-year-old bracelets. So anyway, I'm just going to stretch this cord. I'm weird about numbers. Maybe it's an OCD thing, but I tend to want to stretch it like an even number of times, and if I'm not on video, I'm probably going to stretch it like 50 times. I'm not joking. I'm weird about it, but I will stretch it a lot, just to make sure I'm getting all the loosey-goosey stretchiness out of it. I don't know what you would call this, but just going to stretch it out enough times to where, and I'm not stretching super hard, guys. I'm just kind of like, I don't know, gently stretching it, but with enough tension that I feel like I'm getting all of the extra stretch out of it. It's still going to have stretch, but it's not going to be really loose once I wear it for several months. It's not going to get stretched out like, you know, a weird elastic sock or something. So I'm giving myself enough cord here to just go ahead and knot it. And I'm not gonna tie it like extremely tight, but I am gonna tie it so there's tension, because I don't want it to just be loose. So I'm gonna knot it once and pull it tight, twice and pull it tight, and then 3 times and pull it tight. At this point, of all my beading videos that I've been watching, everybody tends to like grab the knot and stick a little dot of GS Hypo glue on the knots. And I'm no different. I like to, if everybody else is doing it, I feel like there must be a good reason. I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to squeeze it out. If you squeeze it, a lot comes out. It does not stop coming out, and it makes a mess. So a really, really gentle squeeze. And then I'm going to go ahead and get a little glue on the knot. I hope you can see that. I hope that's in focus. So I'm just putting a little bit on the knot, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it on the other side of the knot too. And I'm going to go ahead and close this up while I'm sitting here and doing this, because if I forget to close it up, it's going to be a mess, and it just keeps squishing out of the thing. So now I'm going to take this little cord end. I left a plenty long cord end, and I'm just going to stick it through my big bead, because I want to kind of bury the cord, the extra cord, in my bracelet before I cut it off, because I'm a little paranoid about cutting it off too close. And now I'm going to pull on this and see if I can get the bead to kind of cover up the knot. And I think that worked really, really well. I'm really surprised that it worked so well on camera. Like, that never happens. And then I'm going to go ahead and try to string this through. This might not be a big enough hole, and if it's not, that's okay. Okay, it's not big enough. So I am going to cut it a little bit longer than what I anticipate cutting it down to later, just because when the knot is still drying, I'm paranoid, and I'm just going to cut it down a little bit more later. So I'm going to leave it like this to dry, and then once it is dry, I'm going to wait 24 hours. And once it is dry, I will go ahead and snip down as close to the bead as possible to hide those extra little ends. But I'm happy with it. I think it came out cute looking. The bead, the Nautilus bead, is not like a huge focal of this bracelet, but it is just enough, you know, shiny, pretty. And I'm also really glad that I incorporated these shell beads. Maybe I'll create another bracelet set with the Nautilus and coordinate some of these the kind of blue beads, and make another bracelet. I probably won't do that on the same video. Maybe I'll just make another video, or maybe I'll just show a picture at the end. But I'm not quite sure if I'm going to end up wearing these coordinating or not. And this one does seem a little bit tight, but I have a really small wrist, and I already weighed or showed it on my wrist. It's not like extra tight or anything. There's even a little bit of room. It's just a tighter fit than the other bracelet. So I could give this away to someone else. It isn't quite my style anyway. But I'm gonna probably keep this one because I like this bead, and I'm happy that I was able to use up some beads from a necklace that I wasn't really using before. So if I make a coordinating set, I'll have repurposed this. Even if I don't make any more things for myself to wear, they would be nice gifts. So I think that's it. I'm just going to go ahead and end it here. Here's the final product. I'll go ahead and show you guys a photo after I've cut it down in 24 hours. And if I end up making another matching bracelet or a set, like an earring set, then I will include that photo in the video when I edit it. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.